When I was a kid, I understand. I still am. I understand. I'm not the smartest one. I understand due to my disabilities and my interests, they kind of clash.
Right.
I can't see numbers. I'm going into a profession that involves a lot of numbers. I love chemistry. I love physics, and that combats me a lot. And just with another disability, I have ADD. It's not ADHD. It's an attention deficit disorder.
Right.
And so sometimes forming a thought, and when I say thought, I don't mean like chatter in the brain. Chatter in the brain is just always going to happen, and it happens too much. There's but when I mean thought, I meant like genuinely trying to come to understand of what is around you. It's like a empty highway. There's nothing there.
You're saying you have like a lot to process, like you have a lot of thoughts
Hmm.
constantly flowing in your head.
I mean, it's more the lack of thought, if that makes sense, and that's always sucked for me. One of the things when I was a kid is that like I wouldn't be able to recognize when people are like genuinely being rude to me or like just trying to be friendly. I still have that problem to this day. And so as a kid, I would be overstepped a lot. I was short, I was skinny. I still am short. I'm not as skinny as I once was. But
Right.
this is something you can do and not there's some things you can do and you can't at the same time.
So you're
Like one of the defense mechanisms I have is when people hug me from the behind, it's instant fight or flight. I've been getting a better hold of it. I understand that it's not the best thing to do, but just that's what happened.
so you're insecure like
And
about your height and how skinny you are.
that's my stature and my thought process. But I have learned that there are things that you can overcome and things that are just gonna take its time, and then you have to accept my stature. My
Hmm.
shortness, I'm gonna have to just come to terms with that. I'm into mixed martial arts. I'm not the best. I fucking suck at what I do, but I'm okay. It's enough to get me by if anything happens to me.
Yeah, exactly. You shouldn't be insecure about it because I mean, even if you're bad subjectively, you know that you can get better with a learning
Yeah.
mindset. You know, as long as you're like, okay, um, with the mind of a student, I know that I can get better. I'm not plateaued. There's always capacity in my mind to grow.
One of the biggest curses in life is like I was mentioning at the other day when we were talking, and I think everyone has this insecurity one way or another. You're always gonna in life, you will always think you're gonna end up being loved less than you actually are. Everybody has it. Everybody has it. It's gonna be with them constantly. It's always gonna be in the back of their mind.
100%, because yeah,
That
we're the
that
most we're the most critical of each other, or like of ourselves, I should say, and that makes us believe that others are gonna be just as critical of us as we are to ourselves. So I definitely understand that, and then you just look at yourself with these high ass standards that literally nobody else has of you but yourself.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's always just a matter of reflection. I like to balance between hot and warm showers, and sometimes I'll just sit, lay on the ground. I'll be thinking of my actions and trying to justify myself. If it's and I'll debate, is it justifiable or is it not? You know what I mean?
No, yeah, like you have to try, you
Just
logically
sometimes.
try to think about it, like think about like
But
your emotions and just process through them.
absolutely, emotions can be a beautiful thing,
They can also
but
destroy you if you
they
don't.
can
Yeah.
also distract.
I mean, so I know today's topic is insecurities, but in terms of insecurity, I think one of the major ones I had was growing up being overweight, and that's
Hmm.
just from overeating and genetically how I was raised. I understand how it can be emotional and stuff how baby was talking about, but I think the major thing to focus on when you have the mental insecurity is also to physically research how you can be better too.
Hmm.
Like if you get to dive into something and make it like a passion as well. I think that's always a good drive to just make yourself better. It doesn't always have to be something that you have to fix or get rid of. It's something that you can enhance. Like
So
with baby's height, it could be something that he could enhance or make somehow beneficial for himself. You know?
yeah, because there are insecurities that it's like, okay, maybe some are appearance related, but some are like things that genuinely can help others. And instead of
Yeah,
trying to
I
get
think
rid of,
everything is
yeah.
like in a way profitable. I think can
Hmm.
be helpful. So I think it's also about mentality. Is what I'm really getting. Yeah.
Yeah, it's how you look at it too, because you gotta look at your insecurities and it's like, okay, if what I'm quote unquote insecure about is something that can actually help others, like, okay, say someone calls you like a freaking nerd or some shit, right? Or you're really into this and it's weird. If you let it get to you, then what if you could have benefited others in the future? What if there was some benefit that you became like the best at some sort of trade and you stopped because someone laughed at you?
Yeah, but not only that though, say the nerd doesn't even have potential to become like amazing when he grows up. The whole point is that mentality should just be that no matter what someone believes or says to you, it should be whatever you believe or whatever you know you are, whatever is actually true. I don't want to say whatever you believe because then that can go into delusion as well. But whatever you actually are, if you actually know your reality, and then just embrace that and enhance that, you can't do anything with what if.
Yeah, because if it's just a part of you, you might as well embrace it. You
There's
shouldn't
nothing
be
you can
like,
do about
yeah,
it. Yeah,
you shouldn't be conforming to other people, and yeah, there's nothing you can do about it. That you have two options: deal with it, process the emotion. Like I said, for self process, like okay, this is what I experienced. This is what people say about me. Like, is this something that makes me less valuable? If not, like it doesn't make you less valuable. Okay, bro, like don't change anything about yourself. And if it's something that you do want to change about yourself, let's say you're overweight, then yeah, like go like on a fitness journey, but don't think you're less valuable because like you were the fat kid growing up. You know what I mean?
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You kind of touched on it perfectly. I was gonna say because we before we were almost saying like whatever it is, it just is. Like that should be fine.
Hmm.
But no, if you really do want to change it, like you said, make that effort to go and do something about it. I didn't want people to think that we meant like so not do anything about it because oh you're perfect the way you are because I think like the whole problem with stuff, especially
Hmm.
like the body positivity movement and stuff,
Oh yeah.
is
Uh-huh.
yeah be comfortable with the way you are to an extent because at a certain point that's just like unhealthy. That's a whole other rabbit hole. But
100%.
what I'm saying is that yeah, be happy with yourself. But if there's something that's not wrong with you, but you don't like or would like to change, do
Hmm.
that. Make that conscious effort. Learn, better yourself. That's the only way you're ever gonna get better. Be happy with where you are now, but always be trying to get better. That's just have a positive mindset, mentality again. Yeah,
Yeah, 100%, bro. And you always have to strike that balance between, okay, I'm looking at my insecurities, I'm looking at what other people say. You have to distinguish what you can learn from it, but you also have to strike a balance. There's this like golden point where you take it critically, but you don't take it personally. So it's like you said,
exactly.
there's
Yeah,
two sides of the extreme. You change your entire personality, you change who you are because other people criticized you. And you're like, oh, you're this, you dress this way, you are fat, you are this, you're a nerd. There's three three choices you could take. The very extreme of changing for others just completely because of shame. There's also another extreme of being like very, I guess you could say, you having a fat ego and just absolutely never learning about any like about yourself and not taking any critical things that actually could be valuable. But the golden point is like not taking it personally. Okay, these people think I'm this, they think I'm that. I'm not losing value as a human being. You know what? If I like this subject, if I like this sort of music, I'm not less valuable because this person is telling me that I am. But can I learn something from it? Obviously, if it's something as like subjective as music, obviously no. It's like just there's nothing to learn from that. Okay, you just like your
something like
music.
that is just deal with
Yeah,
it. You like
but
your music,
uh-huh.
whatever.
Yeah, you like your music, you like, and that's
But
just
there's
all.
certain things, like again, weight loss.
Yeah, like weight loss. Yeah, so weight loss, that's something you can actually learn from. It's like, okay, sure. They told me I'm fat and stuff. I'm not gonna lose value as a human, but yeah, you know what? Maybe I can lose weight, you know? And through that self-respect that I have for myself, I'm going to actually put myself through a weight loss journey. You know what I mean? You have to strike that golden point.
Yeah, and again, in that scenario, like you said, you're not doing it for others, you're doing it for yourself, and you want to be better.
And honestly, bro, it's just the crucial importance of emotional processing because if someone's been carrying with all this for a very long time, taking action can just be that much harder. You know what I mean? Because you felt so insecure for all this time, and you have no idea why you feel insecure because it's been so many years since that insecurity has developed. Because again, it has an origin. Insecurities have an origin. At some point in time in your childhood, someone said something to you. You looked at an expectation of yourself that you have because of the internet. Someone imposed it on you. It doesn't matter where it came from. But you grab your journal, you go meditate, and you ask yourself, how am I feeling? How am I feeling because of this insecurity? How am I feeling because this person called me this? Because this person called me that? And once you go through all that stuff, once you go through all that emotional processing, that's when you can start doing the healing. You know what I mean? The emotional processing is the healing itself, but that alone is not enough. You have to change your identity. You have to be like, okay, I am not like a less valuable person. because I look this way, or because I like this, or because I dress a certain way. You know what I mean? And again, be critical. Like, is there something I can genuinely learn from what people are telling me about myself?
Yeah, because criticism is not a bad thing. It shouldn't be like, again, like the Black positivity movement, like,
Hmm.
oh, whatever I am just is. It should really, if someone tells you something, take it into account. Think, like you said, is it something that can be improved on? Is there something not wrong with you, but is there
Hmm.
something that can actually be better about you?
Hmm.
Because I don't think there's something necessarily wrong with any of us, like specifically us three right now. But I think there's a lot of things that could be better with us,
Exactly.
with all of us, including myself. So it's not
Yeah.
about focusing on the negative, like, oh, I'm messed up. It's about focusing on what can I make better of myself and using what people will say as helpful criticism to make yourself better.
No, yeah, for sure. Because I think that's a really good separation to make too. Learning to tell from what's wrong with me instead what can I improve on. Because it's like, okay, what's wrong with me can probably be like if you're, I don't know, bro, you just like killed someone. I don't know that like what's wrong with me. Okay, something that's objectively wrong. Like everyone can objectively agree like that's wrong. But if it's like, okay, what's something
I
I can
don't see
improve
anything
on?
wrong with that. But okay.
Yeah. But if it's like what can I improve on? Like those are just personal things, you know. It doesn't hurt anybody. It doesn't affect like especially like it doesn't hurt anyone in general, so that's just like personal, you know? Okay, what should I be improving on? And actually, one thing that people underestimate about enemies and haters is that that's when you can actually learn the most because they're not afraid to tell you what's wrong with you. They're not afraid to tell you, oh, you suck at this, you suck at that, oh, you did this wrong, like, oh, like, because they try to look for any little thing, right? And you can actually take
Yeah, so
advantage of
you
that.
need to.
Yeah, you can take advantage of that. Like, okay, maybe I can improve on these things, and you're just giving me a whole list of things that I can improve on. As to where friends, yeah, friends are cool, right? Obviously, like, it's awesome to have them, but there are times where, like, let's be honest, all right? Let's admit it every single time like it's gonna be harder to criticize a friend and be honest about like okay look bro you're doing this wrong you're doing this wrong. There are friends of friends like some people are better than this than others. I'd like to believe that I'm pretty good at pointing out flaws in others if in my friends especially like if it's affecting the group or something. But let's be honest, it's always going to be easier for the enemy, like for people who don't like you, to point out your flaws and you can learn a lot from that.
Well, I feel like there is truth, but there is also condon. What's the word I'm looking for?
Hmm.
But I feel like that can be like a double edged sword because sometimes people just really just say shit just to say shit. Sometimes one of the things one of the things that really fucking stuck in my head that really fucked me up when I was a kid was when I was told that I'll never graduate high school,
Hmm.
that I would probably be dead or ran up on the street. Everyone fucking told me that I was just the only person that the only place I would ever have would be the military. There's nothing wrong with the military, however, it just wasn't a profession of mine. Just said they said, hey, the Marine always need grunts, and so they just put me in that category as stigmatism. So I was
Right.
like, oh, okay. But
Yeah.
I surpassed that at the age of 12, I was in Harmony Science Academy and I was helping build the solar panel car project that they had over there,
Yeah.
and it's still up to this day. I went into robotics.
Hmm.
Later on, I left to pursue my passion in biology and went to high school. And you know,
And your story's a perfect example too of like an amazing way to deal with that because
not everything people say
hmm
about you is what there is.
it's not what's true. You know what I mean?
It's not what's true. People
Exactly.
are gonna say things to say things. Some people are just gonna straight up just be hurtful, just to be fucking hurtful.
Hmm.
That's just what happens.
Yeah, and those are the instances where you just can't learn anything, right? It's like if someone criticizes how you dress, it's like, okay, I like to dress this way. Unless you're like outright fucking half naked, all right? Then let's be real, okay. But like if you're dressing a certain way and it's just your style, there's nothing wrong with it. Then and people just criticize you for it. That's something hurtful, right? That's the perfect example. Like they were telling you as well, like, oh, you're not gonna be anything. You're not gonna achieve your dreams. You're not gonna graduate. What you did, it's like, okay, you sat down. It's like, is that subjectively true? Like, is it true? Like, no. Like, you analyzed the situation. It's bullshit. Like, they don't know the future. Like, nobody knows the future. I certainly do. I'm in control of my own future. I'm taking accountability. I know I'm gonna graduate. So it's like you analyze it critically instead of oh my gosh, woe is me. People would want my downfall. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
what you did there was perfect because you took control of your own life You graduated, counted like you just proved everyone wrong, and it's because you took control of your life. You analyze the situation. It's like, no, like, why would I let others affect me? You know what I mean? Why will I let
Not
the like the hurtful speech of others affect me when I just know that they're wrong objectively?
people's value isn't determined by what people say around them. It's themselves that are part of that value. You give yourself value. It's all about what you wanted to be, you know?
Yeah, you determine like I'm a valuable human being because I just am, and because of that value, I am going to improve myself. Like, I'm going to improve myself because I'm a valuable human being. Because a lot of people get it wrong. They're like, oh, I have to become this person, and then I'm like, I'll respect myself and all that stuff. No, respect yourself first. Know who you are. Know that you hold value, and set your goals so that through that self-respect, that same self-respect that you have will help you and push you towards your goals. In your case, you were like, no, fuck all these people. Fuck what they're telling me. I'm going to prove them wrong. And you graduated, and now you're pursuing your dreams. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I hope everyone that listens, well, that does listen to this, I hope they understand you don't need all the riches in the world to be happy. To you don't need to have women. You just need to be happy with yourself at the end of the day.
It's really subjective. It's like chase your dreams, but try to differentiate between what the internet tells you to do and yourself. Because I know a lot of people aren't happy being just like below average or average. And that's why a lot of people in the internet, actually including myself sometimes, preach like, okay, don't be average, strive for more. That's because people actually like aren't happy being average though. But if someone, I would say if someone is genuinely happy, like genuinely, I'm saying genuinely, you aren't bullshitting yourself. You're genuinely happy just having like a normal life, like normal you're genuinely happy being like obese or something. You're genuinely happy. Basically, I wouldn't go to the extreme of saying obese, but you're happy in a very healthy way. But you don't
Like
have to
you're
be this
happy just
extraordinary.
working a 9 to 5,
Yeah,
having a typical like nuclear American nuclear family type
basically.
like
Yeah.
home and everything.
If you're genuinely happy doing that, then by all means.
Do
But
that, yeah.
the reason that I like say so much, like try to not be average, is because people usually that are average are very miserable. Like you can look at the data, it's like it's horrible. You know what I mean? So it's like try to be above average, strive for more, and if you want to, if that's genuinely what you want, then go chase it, bro. But chances are you're not gonna be happy, you're not gonna be fulfilled being normal. And normality is like, okay, I'm enslaved to a 9 to 5 job. I can't do what I want with my life. I am locked to a certain amount of money. I can never experience life to its fullest. I can never travel around the world, work whenever I want, at the time I want. Like that sort of deal. You know what I mean? And I think what
Yeah.
most people want is freedom, and freedom is happiness. And since it's the ultimate form of happiness, then why not strive for it? But again, if someone's genuinely happy just having a 9 to 5 and not having freedom and all that stuff, then fine, do it. But you better be damn sure that you're actually happy doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think I think a lot of people really just overthink what they really need in life. Like sorry, my mind, I'm like trying to form what I want to say in my mind, but it's just not coming there at the moment. But
You're good.
one of the things that really stick out to me is that like everyone is expected to get their shit together by a certain point in time, but I think everyone that kind of says that is a bit of a fool, you know?
I mean, it's good to have goals, but like definitely be patient because ambition without patience will destroy you for sure.
No, I think it means not really goals, it's more like unrealistic standards set by others that like give you that social pressure that you're not good enough yet because you're not caught up, right?
Yeah,
Oh
and
yeah.
and it's like
That's what I
one
think
of the
that's what
things
you
that one of the things that I see a lot is that it's like, oh, you're supposed to be getting your shit together, like coming of age movies and shit like that. You see like this gimmick where like people think about it in real life, where it's like, oh god, what if I don't have this by the time? What if I don't have that type of time? Slow down. Understand that that this all comes in with experience and wisdom. If you haven't had in that spirit experience already, no shit, you're not gonna have wisdom. That just comes along its way.
It's normal to be lost when you don't know anything yet.
No, yeah, you can definitely get caught up in like, okay, I want to be this by this age, have that by that age, and especially with like the internet right now, because you see, you go on social media or you go on YouTube or you go to all these places and you see like, I became a fucking millionaire at 16 years old. Here, like, oh my gosh, like, and then you're just like, because since
You're like,
that's all you're
shit, I'm
seeing,
16.
yes, like since you're seeing that, you're like, bro, I better hurry the hell up, you know? And it's just like, no, bro,
Yeah.
it's a huge exception in between millions upon millions of 16 years old, like the top 0.0000001% of 16 years old, you know? Like, calm down, bro. Like, just set your own timer, be realistic, set goals, right?
No,
Don't
if
let
you're not a millionaire by the time you're 16, you're a failure, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's very unrealistic.
I mean, for real.
Hmm. Like, you're still living under your parents' roof, bro. Like, I'm not saying not to be ambitious. Go for it. Have your goals, but don't pressure yourself to the point that it's detrimental to you rather than helpful. You know what I mean?
I think one of the things that needs to be that a lot of people don't take in mind. It's this little analogy that I like. A pine tree may mature and grow faster than an oak tree. Which one dies first? Which one grows bigger? Which one brings more value? Which one shelters more
Oak tree is a
trees?
better one.
Trees, exactly. It just shows that sometimes it's better to just take your time with things.
Not fuck up. Don't be in a
Okay. I
rush.
mean, you're gonna fuck up.
Oh yeah,
That's life. That you will immediately be fucking up left and right. That's just what's going to happen to you.
life is just about failing over and over again until you eventually learn enough that you can actually succeed. Simple.
Absolutely. And so at times where it's like, oh shit, I messed up. Okay,
Hmm.
what are you gonna do?
Are you going because there's two types of responses. It's like, are you going to learn from it? Like you're gonna actually try to like get something from the experience? Or are you gonna tell yourself I'm a failure, I did this wrong? Or you're just gonna have a student mindset, like, okay, what could I have done better? And just do better next time. You know what I mean? Like it's as simple as that. Do better. Like that there's no other way to put it. You learn from the experience. I'm a student of life and it's teaching me something right now. So
Yeah.
next time,
You're
this
not
is not
gonna
gonna
get
happen.
everything off the bat. Shit, you
Yep.
might even repeat the same fucking mistake again. You don't learn to walk in one go.
Yep.
It's gonna take you. Maybe you're just gonna fall over and over and over and over again. That's just what's going to happen to you. If you're
Yeah,
trying to
man.
get rid of habits and all that kind of shit, you're gonna fucking tumble over. Like I'm trying to get into a habit, get out of the habit of cursing. As you can tell, I'm not really doing a good job, aren't I?
You can't say you are.
No, no, no. And all I could do is really just try to use other words. Use a bigger vocab and expand my vocabulary.
Be mindful
And
about
that's just
it.
what I find so far. But hey, maybe there's something else that can be done that I'm missing.
Just being mindful about it, you know?
Yeah,
Be mindful about your words. Be like every single time that you speak. Because mindful is not, you're gonna have to do like more, I guess, intentionally, but it'll become
yeah.
unintentional over time.